So if we do a clap then, after 3, 1, 2, 3.
I must say, I love watching Stu get ready to clap himself in, because I see him in Zoom just exercising his hands, flexing his fingers. It's quite entertaining.
I'm communicating that we're about to do it. You see,
there you go. You're signalling. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, that's it.
Welcome back, listeners, to Tales from the 20 Side, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm your Games Master for this game and for many others. And I'm joined today by our regular cast members of Mr. Stu Jackson.
Hello!
I was going to say, that's you, Stu, that's you. Mr. Neil Kelly.
Hello.
And Mr. Darren Mafucci.
Word.
Hello, and we are also very excited to announce we have a special guest joining us today. We're hoping that she's going to stick around for a while as well. But please give a big warm 20-side welcome to Miss Amy Chislett joining the show for the first time.
Hello!
Hello!
Wonderful to be here. Oh, it's so exciting.
I think we've probably just peaked all the microphones.
It's fine. It's fine. We can figure it out.
Fix it in post.
We can. Because we all edit.
It's the royal we, Stu. You should know that by now. But yes, anyway, Amy, welcome to the podcast. How does it feel to be here?
Oh, it's very wonderful. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
More than welcome. Why don't you just give the listeners listening just a little brief introduction to yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh, it's not very exciting, really. So I'm Amy. I don't play a lot of RPG games. This is my first attempt at Pathfinder, so you'll have to bear with me. But I've played D&D a bit before. And yeah, you can... That's about it.
What is your favourite colour?
Oh, blue. Blue is my favourite colour.
You sure it's not yellow?
Nope.
There you go. That's gone down like a lead balloon. I apologise so much. Little Monty Python gag there. For anybody at home who got it.
I haven't watched Monty Python, so...
I'm massive on Monty Python, but I don't get the reference.
It's when Galahad goes to cross the Bridge of Doom, and the guy guarding it asks his favourite colour. He says blue, no yellow, and gets thrown off.
Ah, yes.
What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
See, Darren, if you've been watching the Twitch stream, I answered this question. That answer is 120 feet per round.
Indeed.
But there we go. Yeah. Anyway, welcome, Amy. Welcome back, everybody. What's been going on in the world for you guys?
Not a lot.
Been watching TV.
Yeah, watching TV, playing guitar, shiny new guitar.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you got your 7-stringer, haven't you?
I did. It's a beast. I love it. I did.
What note is the extra string? That's what I want to know.
B. It's a
B,
low
and
B.
is it a lower B or a upper?
Yeah.
So it's below E, bottom E.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it's dropped down to an A, and it makes filthy metal noises. It's great.
It does get a bit rattly.
Everything I've been writing for the album has, up until I got the guitar, has kind of been abandoned because I can create all these new really heavy sounds.
Nice.
So the album's kind of gone. I'm going over here now where it's really heavy.
Yeah, you've just drop tuned the entire album to make use of the guitar.
Yeah. It's great.
Don't blame you.
I love it.
Don't blame you. Well, looking forward to hearing some more of your work featuring the new Beast, then, Darren.
Hopefully this year I'll get the album finished and released at some point.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll release it when it's ready to be released.
When it's good and ready. But I'll definitely be releasing another EP soon. That's going quite well, but that's completely different from anything else I've been writing. It's kind of themed, but more will be revealed when it's released.
When there is more to reveal, more will be revealed, eh? There we go. All right. Stu, Neil, what have you guys been up to, if anything?
So I'm just going to close the window. There's a dog barking out. There's a neighbours got a new dog. That's what's in my life. The neighbours got a new dog that they leave out at night and it barks. Especially around about the time when I want to record. You know, if I'm recording something, doing any audio, I leave it till late when people have gone to bed because it's a school night and people go to bed early in this house, and the tellies are off. And that's when they put the dog out and it barks for about half an hour. That's, no, I've got a job.
You got a job, fantastic.
I've got a job, paying money. Yeah, I'm doing COVID-19 testing.
Oh, that's with the schools,
isn't
it?
Yeah, we haven't been wound up yet. Yeah, we do these lateral flow tests. Where, I mean, when I got the job, Boris Johnson was still saying, "Yep, all the kids are going back to school. School's perfectly safe." Between me getting the job and actually turning up for the job, he'd been persuaded to change his mind. So our work time was a little slacker, well, a lot slacker than we'd expected. We had 2 people in today in total. So
I hate to say this, Neil. This is almost word for word what you said last time on the last episode. Yep.
Can someone just check? Can someone just check that Bill Murray's not flying around?
But we still got the job, even though the assessment of the reliability of the test we're doing, it just goes down and down and down all the time. Less than 50% reliable now. So, but we're still doing it.
There we go. All right, so just quickly before we get back into the game proper, Stu and Amy, anything exciting on your end at the moment?
Oh, well, I've just been playing video games and working, so it's lockdown life.
Hashtag lockdown life.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yeah. I've been video gaming and I've started streaming, not in a medical sense, but in a
Stu's
online.
Just been pissing
over
everywhere.
Twitch. Yeah, basically. No, I've been doing that for years.
Only on Tuesdays, Darren. Only on Tuesdays.
But yeah, I've been doing that. Been working on my sitcom. Neil and I are working on a documentary that we're hoping to do this year. That is kind of associated with the other podcast that Neil and I do, Aliens Explored.
Which is really
Aliens
good.
Explored.
I really enjoyed the first episode.
Excellent. And what about the rest of them? They were all shit?
I started the second one and I was like, fucking voices again. So I just I threw my phone at the wall and I would have gone to the pub, but they're all shut. So
They're either shut or they've become Weatherspoons in anticipation of reopening.
Yeah. Did you think we'd put on different voices for a different episode then?
Yeah.
Is that what
I expected more effort, to be perfectly honest. But no, it was really good, the first episode. I'm going to listen to the rest. I just haven't got around to it yet because I've got such a back catalogue of podcasts on the go. Since there's so many, I keep just sort of like doing an episode of one, then another, and trying to work my way through them that way. But yeah, really good. I recommend it for anybody that's interested in UFOs and aliens and stuff. Anal probes.
And I always think people that aren't as well, because you've got Neil fighting your corner for the people who think it's all bullshit.
So I'm not interested in this. I don't care what you say.
Tune in. Here's someone being bored. We're a bit more thoughtful than that, but we do get quite heated, don't we, Neil? Well, we have done it. I remember I pressed a button without realising. No, that's not what I meant.
Speaking.
There's one of Stu's button, not a button on my.
Oh right,
on my machine. There's one of Stu's buttons.
Speaking of getting heated, there, folks. Shall we get back into our game where you're currently in a lovely little pocket of summer? Sorry to cut you both off there.
With the wolves.
No, absolutely. That's what we're here for.
It is indeed. All right, so bringing us back into our game then. Our adventurers, Alwyn Templeton, Otto von Niederschläger, and Brother Amos have left the town of Woldsby behind them in the company of Nadia Petska. They're travelling north to the city of Whitethrone, which is the capital of Irison, where they hope that they can get back on the trail of Baba Yaga and her dancing hut, which is the kind of purpose that's been putting them through the country for the time being. As you progressed through the snowy landscape, Brother Amos discovered a newfound affinity for driving a team of dogs and was proved to be very, very adept at doing so. And you journeyed northwards for a couple of hours' travel until you were alerted by Nadia to a strange occurrence a strange occurrence a short way ahead of you. Appeared an area where the sky above. The clouds above seemed to have broken, revealing blue sky, and the snow itself had melted away to reveal a verdant, lush landscape full of wildlife and fauna and all sorts of flora, hitherto unseen in Irison itself. You proceed with Nadia's advice. You proceeded into this small pocket of summer, discovering that you needed to haul the sleds you were on. To avoid damaging them, you did so. You popped them onto basically some logs to act as rollers, and started making your way slowly through this patch of sunshine. And as you were doing so, you passed through a small gorge, high rock cliffs on the right hand side, and a forest on the left. And in between, almost blocking the road, was a giant elk. That stood maybe 6 feet tall at the shoulder, with great antlers that stretched a good 10 or 11 feet across. And you were debating what to do about the beast. And just as you decided that you were going to pitch a small camp and wait for the beast to move on, there was an explosion from the direction of the elk. A band of goblins burst out of the trees and began attacking the creature. With the aid of some warg allies. You have engaged the goblins in battle. You've killed a fair few. The elk itself has bolted, and when last we left off, the two wargs that were attacking the elk with the goblins have turned towards their goblin companions and have started sprinting towards them, seeming to ignore you for the time being. And that is where we bring ourselves back in. So just in case anybody is wondering, Amy's character will be revealed a bit later on today. Obviously assuming that these guys don't go completely off-piste in the next half an hour, which is always possible.
It really is.
Gentlemen, I think we should go off-piste now.
This will be a good time as any.
I'm already on the piece.
Okay, but that does bring us back into our game, and next up on the initiative order is Otto. So Otto, you've just watched the elk break away and bolt towards, basically bolting towards the forest, seeming to disappear into it, and these two wolf-like creatures, these two wargs, have started rushing towards their goblin companions. What would you like to do?
Are they running away from us?
I'll tell you what, give me a perception roll. Actually, no, it's sense motive, so I will do that for you. What's your perception bonus, Otto?
My perception bonus is 7.
7, okay. It's hard to tell what the intent of these creatures is. You can definitely tell that they are running directly towards their goblin allies.
Just remind myself where I am in relation to them.
Okay, so you are currently sort of still on the road. The nearest goblin is 55 feet away from you. One of the wargs is 50 feet, and the other group is a bit further away, with the warg being at 70 feet, and some goblin archers kind of on top of this gorge wall on the right hand side.
I don't remember what I was doing to engage with them. 60 feet, 50 feet is a long way.
It is. I mean, You could always choose to do nothing. You could choose to ready an action in case something happens.
Yes, I will ready an action. I think I will just I will produce and load my hand crossbow.
Okay, so I think you had your crossbow out last time. Can't remember if you loaded it or not, but I'll say if you want, you can spend an action to reload the crossbow, and you could then spend your other 2 actions basically holding the shot for a trigger.
Actually, I have 3 of those, and it has a 60-foot range. I'll have a shot.
All
at
right.
the nearest one.
At the warg.
Yes.
Okay. Roll a ranged attack for me, please, Neil.
That's 1d6. So 1d6.
It's a d20 to hit first.
11.
11 is going to miss. You sort of clink this bolt off, and where it's kind of in the trees, you can't quite see it. The bolt just sort of sails over the creature and disappears into the forest.
Well, then I will use my final action to reload.
Alright, you reload your crossbow with your last action. End of your turn, Otto. We are round to Alwyn.
Okay, so I'm conscious that the warg did not attack Chardonnay in return.
Yeah, the last you were aware, the wargs kind of snarled something in a language at Chardonnay before bolting off to pursue the elk or move towards these goblins.
Yeah, and Chardonnay's keeping very quiet about what the warg said. So, what I am going to do then, first action, I am going to instruct Chardonnay to attack the nearest goblin on the cliff.
Okay.
How high is that cliff?
So the cliff it's not super high. The cliff is about 15 feet up. So I think
is it like vertical up, or
it's
reasonable
not
that Chardonnay can get up it?
I mean, it's steep enough that Chardonnay would need to sort of leap to get there, but with a running jump, Chardonnay could probably make it. He'd need to make an acrobatics roll, but he could definitely get up there.
Okay, that'll be the first action then, will be to instruct Chardonnay to get up next to the goblin ready to attack.
Okay.
So you need an acrobatics, did you say?
Yes, please.
For Chardonnay. Oh, natural 1. Shit. That's 9 for what it's worth.
Okay, Chardonnay goes to leap up towards this goblin, gets his footing wrong, and basically you watch as Chardonnay is bolting towards the wall to scramble up it. His feet kind of get stuck, get caught on the ground, and Chardonnay just tumbles and comes to a halt at the foot of the cliff. No damage, but possibly some bruised ego.
Yeah, and that would be both Chardonnay's actions.
Okay.
Presumably.
Yes, that would be both of Chardonnay's actions.
For Alwyn's second action, he would like to take a shot with the longbow at the goblin sort of to the left, so not one of the ones on the cliff, but the one that's still on the ground. That's the one that was chucking bombs at us, isn't it?
It is. This is the same goblin that has been lobbing explosives.
Definitely needs to be taken down. So Alwyn will take a shot at him. Oh my god, I'm having one of those days. 13.
13 is a miss,
1-3.
unfortunately, Alwyn. Once again, the arrow just thuds into the trunk of one of the trees.
Okay, last action, I'll try another shot at the same one.
Okay, roll that attack.
Oh, no, 10.
Oh, mate. It's alright,
Having a bad day.
get the bad rolls out of the way in this palate cleansing fight.
They have a habit of lasting an entire session, though. They don't change until the next game.
There we go. That ends your turn, Alwyn. We are around to the Goblin Pyro. And you see, once again, as the warg is bolting towards it, the Goblin sort of jabbers at it in a language you don't understand. You sense a little bit of fear in this Goblin's voice, but regardless, it pulls out, looks to be its last one of these slender stick-like objects, strikes it on his chest, and is going to throw it. You see, he comes moving out of the trees a bit first, then pulls out this stick and then lights it as if to throw it towards you.
Who?
Okay.
When you say you, which one
I'm
of us would that
assuming
be?
me.
I meant Brother Amos there.
Yeah.
I kind of said you as in your group, but it's okay because he rolled a 2 to throw it. So you watch as this goblin comes rushing out with this stick in his hands. He strikes it on his chest to light it. He goes to throw it, and you hear the hissing noise, which ends a lot sooner than perhaps it should have. And you just hear the goblin call over to you, "Uh-oh!" There is an explosion, and Brother Amos, you are coated with. You find a goblin ear just lands wetly on your face.
I hate goblins.
Yeah, that ends his turn because he's very dead.
He can't even kill himself without Brother Amos cupping his lot for it.
Okay, Brother Amos, it's now your turn.
Well, first I'm going to peel the ear off my face. I would like to use wholeness of body if I can. I can't remember if I did on my last turn.
I don't think you used it last time out, but you've got 2 focus points anyway, so you can kind of do that twice before you need to reconnect yourself.
Okay. So I'll use that.
All right.
Which gives me... Does it give me 8 hit points back, doesn't it? Is it 8?
It's just a flat 8 back, yes.
Yeah. So that takes me back up to 31.
So once again, your first action, as you peel the goblin's ear off your face, you take a breath and center yourself, and you feel some of your strength return. 2 actions left.
I will ready my crossbow.
Okay. So take your crossbow out. You get that
And
loaded.
I will load it.
All right.
Is that the 2 actions? Yeah.
Yes,
take it out and
it's
to
one
load
action
it.
to draw
Okay.
it, 1 action to load it. That's the end of your turn. Next up, you all see the elk sort of bolting much further away from you, and basically just keeps running off into the distance and disappears from view. Next, we are round to the last group of goblins on the cliff. You can see a bit of panicked shouting as they see both the Worg and Chardonnay sort of leaping up to attack them. You can all vaguely hear calls of dogs, no, dogs, scary, no. And coupled with the explosion, I'm going to have them make a will save. And yeah, you all watch as these 3 goblins they drop their bows and they run out of sight, further away from the cliff. Okay, the warg kind of leaps up onto the cliff. You hear snapping and snarling, and you hear at least one goblinoid scream as that creature disappears from view. The other warg that is in the forest sort of snaps and snarls at something you can't see, and you hear more panicked goblin cries. It seems that there were more goblins sort of hiding in the forest. And Brother Amos, you now see them all sort of emerging from the trees and beginning to scurry deeper into the forest. Okay, that's the end of their turn. It is Otto. It seems that your enemy is in full rout. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't think we should pursue them. I think they've gone. Why? This isn't what we came here to do, is it? We just ran into them, and now they've gone. So, I think I will unload my crossbow and put it away.
And I have no desire to taste any more raw, exploded goblin.
Did you say here? What's this here?
All right. So Otto, you're just kind of relaxing, standing down.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll stand down.
Alwyn, we're on to you.
Alwyn will call Chardonnay over to him.
Yep, easily enough to do.
Stow the longbow, but draw the rapier, and look very carefully at the warg that's on the ground still, in a distrusting fashion. And for a free action, I'd like to wonder what the hell has happened to my two compatriots, showing these goblins mercy. Who are they, and what have they done with Brother Amos and Otto?
We didn't show them mercy, we just missed.
Easy enough to do.
And then they ran away and I couldn't be bothered to chase them.
That's the thing. I mean, you know,
I made that
burning
one
the ones that's
explode.
running away.
Yes.
Just by looking at him like scanners.
Brother Amos is covered in gore and you're chastising him for showing mercy.
If that's the end of your turn, Alwyn, we're on to Brother Amos. Would you like to do anything?
No.
Okay. You sort of watch, and with that, we come back around to the goblins and the wargs, and you all watch as the warg that is still on the ground continues chasing after the goblins that are fleeing deeper into the forest. You are currently out of combat.
Well, we were going to make camp, weren't we? Until the giant elk had gone, and now it's gone. Shall we still make camp? Anyone fancy a rest? Or should we press on?
Quite early in the day still.
It's kind of early afternoon at this point, not long after midday.
No, I think we need to push on. Let's check that Nadia and the
offer
boys
it
are all
as
right.
an option.
Oh yes. No, it's always a good.
You have a
Good
choice.
thing to
You see,
consider.
you've made a choice.
We'll use lay on hands on Chardonnay.
Okay, easy enough to do.
Alwyn's going to keep his shield out and his rapier ready. He doesn't trust these wargs at all.
All right. Okay.
In fact, can Alwyn take some sort of a roll to see if he remembers anything, like basically recall knowledge about wargs?
I was about to ask if you wanted to do a recall knowledge there, Stu.
Hey, great minds think alike. Fools seldom differ.
Indeed. Recall knowledge is a secret check.
Oh, is it right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Alwyn, what is your Arcana or your Nature modifiers?
Arcana is -2, whereas Nature is +2.
All right. Okay.
Because he's a thickie. It's Alwyn.
Okay, Alwyn. As you look at these creatures, and now you have a second to kind of clear your head and think about them. Wargs are they're a fairly common nuisance, kind of all across the world. They're found often wherever goblins are found. They like to hunt in packs, and there is an intelligence to them, which is part of what makes them dangerous. They are known to work with goblins, either for protection or for battle, or to hunt together. But you know that they are fickle creatures. For example, if a group of wargs is working with a group of goblins, and if the food runs out, or if the goblins really piss off the wargs have absolutely no qualms about turning on them.
Share that.
You also know that they are vengeful creatures. So anything that has deliberately harmed them, they will seek to bring down. With the roll you got, because you got a really good roll, I'm just going to say that now. You also know that kind of the interaction, the nature of the interaction that they were having with Chardonnay was they were telling Chardonnay to back off. And it seems that because Chardonnay did not continue being aggressive, they're kind of letting bygones be bygones for the time being. They're more concerned with chasing down these goblins who've been blowing them up.
Right. Okay. Oh yes, because the goblins threw a bomb at the elk, and it damaged one of the. Right. You're going to share all that with everyone else. I'm also going to say now, Chardonnay, though, keep close. Don't wander off. Just in case. And I'm still going to go along with the rapier drawn.
No worries.
Still don't trust. I mean, if they were willing to work with... Here's my thinking. If they're willing to work with goblins to start with, they're probably not that pleasant.
No. I mean,
a creature
again with your natural 20. I don't mind telling you. I
did wonder.
You get the sense that usually where beasts are kind of neutral or have no predilection towards good and evil, wargs, because of their intelligence and because of their malevolence, are definitely they definitely tend towards evil.
We need to keep our eyes open. Be on guard.
Right.
In fact, I'm going to stow the rapier and draw the longbow again, and be eyes open as we're going along.
Easy enough to do. So the sort of dust clears, and there's a moment of calm as you hear the last vestiges of these creatures rushing, retreating. What would you guys like to do?
Get cleaned.
Easy enough to do. You sort of take a second to sort of clean yourselves off and wipe your faces, some more than others perhaps, and you return to your caravan with Nadia. And you do as you return to the sleds, you see that Nadia, whereas before it's quite strange seeing a bit of a contrast in her. Whereas before you've known her to be this gung-ho, axe-flying warrior, you see a massive change now that her children are nearby. She's become much more the protective mother wolf, sort of looking after her boys. You see they're sort of clutched quite tightly to her legs. She herself is stood tall in the sled with her longbow kind of drawn, and you can see that just on the tree line you can see two unmoving goblin shapes that seem to have gotten a bit too close for her liking.
Good shot.
Oi, thank you. Didn't haven't spent years hunting in the wilds to miss something like that. Are you three all right?
Yes, thank you.
Didn't really get close to us.
No, I
Goblins
saw.
taste like shit.
We got close to Brother Amos.
I saw there were lots of loud noises coming from up your end. Otto, was that you were doing?
Me? No. That was the goblins and the wargs. They were trying to blow up a giant elk.
Oh, I see. See, I just I heard the noises and I saw the fire. I just must confess, I thought, oh, that's Otto at it again.
Well, normally you'd be right, of course, but this time, no, not guilty.
All right. Well, looks like the way's clear. Anyway, do you think we're good to move on?
I think yes. The sooner we get going and the sooner we get out of this area, the better.
I think so.
Don't want to run into those wargs again.
All right. No worries. Come on then. Let's get you moving.
Although, are we heading off in the direction that they ran off in?
No, you're not. You're following. You're continuing to follow the road, which you were before you encountered the elk.
Right. They didn't run off down the road.
No.
To wait for us further.
They either retreated deeper into the forest, or they retreated sort of off this ridge that you couldn't see over.
But yes, let's go down the road then.
All right. Okay. So you make your way back to your dog sleds, and sort of grabbing your logs and your rollers, you begin making your journey once again. And it takes a little while. It's close to another hour of walking because remember you are having to sort of manually move these sleds. It's quite tiring, but not to the point where you're sort of getting super exhausted. You're just kind of enjoying the pleasant breeze that being in this area means. Some of you even sort of start taking off maybe the outer layer of your warm clothing, so that you don't get too hot. But this brief reprieve is all too short-lived, and after a further half an hour of traversing, you do see sort of the edge of the blue sky turning back to thick grey cloud, and you're starting to feel a bit of a chill in the air and start to see vestiges of snow on the ground once again.
I think it's curious that there should be this area of no snow.
Yes.
Okay, just me, right?
You're not much of a conversationalist, but I'm glad we're out of it. Then we don't have to hump these logs.
But yes, but it's going to be bloody cold again. But no, I just if this witchy person is making it all chilly and cold, why isn't this? I'm not complaining. I'm just curious.
I'll tell you, Otto, as a sorcerer connected to the natural world, you can make a nature roll for me.
Make a nature roll. Not very well connected. 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, it is strange. You get a sense that this little pocket is not natural, so to speak. Like, your understanding of just the way that weather works in general is that something like this shouldn't be possible. But that's all you kind of glean from that.
But I think everyone else gleaned that too.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's unnatural?
Yes, I use my natural powers, my supernatural powers, to tell you that something like this isn't really natural.
Right.
You have the benefit of my powers.
Yes. In other news, water's wet.
Yes, but I'm happy to confirm that.
Yes.
I mean,
okay.
It depends on who you ask on the water's wet front, Stu. There we go.
Yes. A shark would think that water's wet.
Or maybe not. The sharks worry about getting wet.
There's one way to find out, you know. We
will convince you, Neil. One day we will convince you, but not this day.
First opportunity.
All right. So you press on with the sleds, sort of grateful to get back onto the snow as you sort of buckle your furs back onto yourselves and get ready to weather the storm once more. You're able to stow the logs that you're rolling on, and you're able to get back in the saddle, as it were. Brother Amos, are you still driving your sled?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. As we get to a point where you're able to properly drive them once again, I would need a nature roll, please.
$19.
19. Not quite as impressively as last time. You do manage to get your team of dogs moving in a very orderly fashion. You got them moving well there. But, just not quite as impressive as the first time. All right. As you sort of get back into the sleds and begin, making your way once more through the snowfall of Irison, you are travelling for a good part of the rest of the day without incident, and just as the vestige, just as the sun is beginning to go down, Nadia sort of calls over to you all and says, "All right, it's starting to get dark. Sure, you noticed that? Is that already?"
Yes, I have a natural affinity with nature, and I was able to define that. Yes, it's getting dark. You have the benefit of my supernatural powers in that respect.
Charmed, I'm sure. All right. Well, what I was going to say. There's a small settlement, maybe half an hour's ride ahead of us. Place called Come On In. It's a little way station. We can get a warm bed there for the night.
Sounds very welcoming.
Come on in.
Come on in, oi.
Sounds welcoming. Yes.
I just watch yourself. I will say, it's a little bit of a shady place. Got something of a reputation, but it's a good place to sleep and get a meal inside you as long as you keep your head down.
Oh, good. I hope we don't meet anyone thoroughly disreputable in this establishment.
Is that more or less disreputable than you?
Obviously, much more disreputable. But sorry, you've caught me in a double negative. I'm confused now.
I mean, we've got a couple of shady buggers with us as it is.
There we go. So, are you following Nadia's suggestion and going to try and lodge up in a warm bed for the night?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yes.
Definitely. I mean, Nadia knows the area, so, yeah.
All right, okay.
Strangers in a strange land.
Indeed you are. So you continue the sleds onwards for, as Nadia said, about half an hour, and just as the sunlight is beginning to fail properly, you can all see what looks to be a small wooden palisade approaching ahead of you with a small wooden gate that is open. As you get a bit closer, this settlement it looks functional is kind of the best way I can put it. You know, it's as you get closer, the buildings are sort of timber with a bit of stone here and there. You can see that this small settlement seems to sit on a crossroads, and as you enter, there is there's not that many people around. You see that there are a few homes sort of here and there that people seem to be making their way back to. It seems that this sleepy little settlement is settling in for a night. But as you enter the settlement, on the right-hand side, there is a much larger building, a building much larger than the rest in the settlement, that seems to have glowing warm lights sort of spilling out of it, and you can see that there are a number of people sort of staggering both into and out of it in various states of intoxicants. And you see, kind of hanging over the road itself is a wooden sign that reads, "The Playful Come On." And Nadia says, "All right, this is the place. As I say, just keep your heads down in here. We'll have no trouble. It's a good place. It's a good place to sleep. But we don't want to be here any longer than we have to be."
Well, I would follow your suggestion. This is all I dreamed of and more.
Alright, so you pull the sled to a halt. You can see that there looks to be a human female who is dressed in a uniform of some kind. It doesn't seem to be anything resembling the armour you saw the guards from the Pale Tower wearing. This looks to be sort of much more ragtag leathers that carry a spear. You get the sense that this is some kind of local militia. And Nadia sort of converses with this individual for a few moments, hands off a small pouch of gold, a small pouch that you assumed to contain gold, and she invites you all to hop off. And two more members of this militia sort of come forward and start manoeuvring your sleds into looks to be a sheltered stable of sorts.
They seem very friendly here.
Oh, they are. Just don't let your guard down too much. All right. As long as you respect them, they'll respect you back.
Do they respect drinking it to excess? Is that something that would find favour with them?
As long as you don't make an arsehole of yourself.
I have never done that in my life.
That's where
We're
we're
fucked.
screwed.
No. Someone else is always to blame.
All right. So as you approach the sort of big oaken doors of this building itself, you can hear a commotion of sorts happening from inside. You hear a few raised voices.
Sounds like a lively place.
Okay. I mean, when you say raised voices, is it raised voices in argument, raised voices in song?
It's raised voices in argument, sort of moving in the direction of the door. Getting closer.
Going to open the door and stand back so that people can go through it.
So as you go to open the door, Alwyn, the door opens before you get to it, and you see two more of these kind of basically clad militia people seem to be carrying a robed man kind of under his arms, and they throw him very unceremoniously onto the snow outside. And you sort of hear them saying, "Come on now, Maximus. You know the rules. You gambled it. You lost it. No need to get angry. If you're gonna act like that, you can leave." And this man is sort of protesting quite loudly. But she stole it from me. She's a charlatan. She's a thief. And he attempts to muscle his way back in the door, but these two individuals just place a hand each on his chest, and with a firm shove, he is staggered backwards a good 5-10 feet and collapses to the floor in front of you, Alwyn. And these two individuals sort of look down at him and say, "Come back when you're sober, Maximus. We'll see you tomorrow." And they close the door behind them. Alwyn, as you look down at this individual on the ground, you can see they are an older human male with a sort of quite long salt and pepper beard. And they seem to be dressed in robes of black, adorned with blue swirls. You can give me a religion roll, if you wish.
I will. Oh, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah. As soon as you see these blue swirls adorning the fabric, you think to yourself immediately that this must be a priest, or at least an acolyte of the goddess Pharasma.
Right. Do you need a hand getting to the dead centre of town?
Get away from me! And you see he's sort of staggering to his feet, and as he does so,
all right then,
he sort of pushes past you. Oh, good sirs, watch yourselves in there. If you're go inside, there's a thief, there's a charlatan. And he hustles himself into his robes, and he storms off in a huff.
Bye then. Okay. Seemed like a dick, but yeah, let's be careful. Trust no one. Should be our motto.
Trust no one. I mean, you don't.
Trust no one. Especially people in the same party as you.
We don't trust each other, let alone someone else.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was a joke.
Well, Alwyn's going to go in.
I have a great love and admiration for my companions.
All right.
Yes.
What are you doing from there, folks?
Yeah. Alwyn will go in.
You go in. All right.
He'll get the first round in for the party.
Yes, I need a drink.
Okay, so you sort of all make your way inside the tavern itself, and as you open the door, you see another of these loosely uniformed individuals sort of looks over at you, just gives you all a nod as you enter, and you find yourself stepping into quite a bustling tap room. You hear people laughing. There's a bit of song over in one of the corners. The smell of roast meat and sort of quite nice beer hits your nostrils. This seems like quite a homely, hearty place. And as you enter it, you also hear off to your right hand side. You hear what sounds to be the clatter of dice and the clinking of coin. And as you sort of look in that direction, you see the two uniformed individuals who had thrown out the priest. They seem to be standing next to a table and talking to a smaller woman than you've encountered to this point. Amy, would you like to describe what they see?
Yes, so I am a halfling. I am slightly short for a halfling. I have short brown curly hair, but the thing that you might see the most is this really fancy hat that I'm wearing. It's lurid green, it's got a feather in it, and it's very, very brand new. Other than that, she looks pretty undescript, and her nose is a bit wonky.
It's a bit wonky. And you can see that she's just playing with, in her hands, looks to be a black necklace with from what you can see from where you are, you can see that it looks to be adorned with very tiny, sharp-looking charms of some sort. And she's just sort of playing with this in her hand and sort of talking to these two individuals who are sort of talking to her. And you hear one of the militia sort of say, "Dreadful sorry about that, Miss Thornbury. Hope it's not soured your opinion of the place."
Oh, we get bad losers all the time. It's all right. Another drink will tide it over, I'm sure.
Sure he will. All right. Well, you let us know if you have any more trouble.
I will do. Don't you worry about that.
And they sort of break away from the table and go about whatever duties they were engaging in before. And Della, as you sort of finish your interaction with these two guards, you look over as a group of individuals entering the bar catches your eye. You see that standing in the doorway is a half elf with a wolf by his side, along with a human, a dwarf, and a human woman with vibrant red hair, and two young boys sort of holding her hands. And the rest of the party, you sort of look over. You see this interaction between the halfling girl, and these loosely uniformed individuals. There's a moment where your eyes kind of meet, and you give each other a sort of nod. What would you like to do?
Are we the only people in the place then, or are there other customers?
No, there's a lot of people in this place. It's quite a small for such a small settlement. You'd estimate there's a lot of people here, way more than you'd expect in a place for a town of this size.
I think, chaps, that's probably the gambler person over there. You see
I expect there are lots of gambler people in here. Let's get a drink.
Yes. Well, I don't gamble. You see, I don't have any vices. Pint of brandy, please.
Okay. You sort of wander over to the bar, Alwyn, and as you get nearer, you see, perhaps a little bit to your surprise, you see standing behind the bar, sort of just wiping down the countertop with what looks like to be a slightly dirty rag. You see, with sort of skinny arms and a big bulbous head and vibrant green skin, you find yourself looking at the face of a very well dressed goblin. Sort of looks up at you as you enter and says, good evening. Welcome to the Playful Come On, travelers. What can I get you? We have drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry, rooms for the weary, company for the lonely, and perhaps even profit for the lucky.
I'll start with my good man. Just don't be worried. My companion here is a wolf, not a
companion.
DOG. Yes.
Oh no! What is that doing in here? Get it out now.
No, it's a wolf. It's a wolf. It's not a DOG.
Get it out of my bar right now. You can see that he's kind of grabbed a wooden tankard from behind the bar and is holding the tankard in front of him like a spear. No! Get that animal out of my bar now.
Right, I'm going then. You've lost a lot of custom tonight because I'm a champion of Caden Kalian, so that's a lot of profit. Bye. Alwyn will walk out and take Chardonnay with him.
Make a diplomacy roll for me, Alwyn.
6.
6. Okay. As he says this, you turn and you leave with Chardonnay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking perhaps I could charm him.
Or I could threaten him.
Do you want to try that?
I'll try charming him, yes.
Okay. So for the spell charm,
this low profile we're supposed to be keeping, and it's well, I'm going to manipulate him through magic. Well, I'm going to threaten to kick the shit out of him. This is keeping the low profile.
I said I could. I didn't say I would.
All right, Otto, what is your spell DC?
My spell DC is 19.
19. Okay.
To the target, my words are honey, and my visage seems bathed in a dreamy haze.
Yeah, remember what I said?
If it works.
Remember what I said about going completely off piste? This is kind of what I meant. All right, sure. Otto. As you finish casting this spell, you see the goblin sort of clutching this tankard in a defensive manner. Sort of looks towards you as you're doing so. Sort of sees. You see your magic kind of wash over him, and as it does so, his eyes glaze over for just a second, but he blinks, and then his eyes clear, and he sort of looks over, and he looks over at the rest of you and says, sorry about the outburst there, my friends. My people have a long-standing enmity with those beasts. Come, travelers, welcome to the Playful Come On.
Alwyn, you can come back. Has he gone? Is he already out of sight?
The half elf can come
I'll
back.
never know how close he came to having his face caved in.
If that half elf he is with you.
Yes, he is. Yes. So I hope there was no misunderstanding over his companion, who is very dear to him, and is completely under control. You will not know he's here.
Well, no, I promise you there is no misunderstanding. That is an evil beast, which I will have not in. I will not have in my bar. Tell your companion he is welcome to return, but his
beast.
His beast will need to stay outside. We can arrange to have it stabled for the evening.
And fed as well, perhaps?
Of course, that would be part of the stabling.
I think I'll go and tell Alwyn what sort of arrangement we've come to. We could all do with some food and drink, and if Chardonnay has to take refreshments separately, well, them's the house rules.
Indeed, yes. Well,
it's not like we have a choice.
If you would speak to your friend, as I say, tell him he is welcome, but the beast must stay outside. Now, what can I get you, my friends? Dada, you see this whole exchange happening. You see these people enter, then cause a bit of a scene, and then one of them storms out with his dog in tow.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to do anything?
I am just going to sit quietly at my table, sipping my drink at the moment.
All right, okay. Watching and waiting. So Otto, what would you like to do?
I will order a drink, and I will order some food, and then I'll say, and I'm just going to go and get my friend, and I'll go and pursue Alwyn.
All right. You sort of, you do sort of order some food and some drink. It's easy enough to do. Della, you notice as this dwarf is sort of talking to the goblin, he puts down a fairly hefty coin sack and starts counting out the coin with which to pay the goblin before he tucks it away and makes his way outside briefly.
Okay, good to know.
So Otto, you make your way outside. Where is Alwyn?
Alwyn is, well, he's gone outside. He's trying to find a corner somewhere he can basically kind of make camp in a lee of a building or something like that.
That's easy enough to do.
They have offered us some more comfortable accommodation for Chardonnay, and you are welcome back into the tap room, but not with Chardonnay, unfortunately.
But not with Chardonnay. No, well, I appreciate you coming out and telling me that.
That's the best I could do. They said they're perfectly willing to accommodate Chardonnay, but not in the tap room.
That's very nice of you to come out and tell. No, you go back in. You and Amos have a good evening. Chardonnay will be all right out here, and that barman can go fuck himself.
Oh well, he spoke so fondly of you. I won't tell him that. Yes, I won't tell him that because
I didn't tell him that. If you like, I don't mind.
We've come to a kind of arrangement, and I wouldn't like to spoil it with that.
If Chardonnay's not welcome, I don't want to be there.
So I hope you don't mind if I don't pass the message on.
Oh no! Of course not. Of course, no. You keep warm and safe, and yes, absolutely. No, I think that's very sensible. You and Amos stay in there, but Chardonnay and I will be perfectly fine out here. Don't worry. If you hear a blood-curdling scream, then maybe come out and check on us.
Is that likely? Do you have plans in that direction?
I mean, we've known each other for what must be a good few weeks now. Yes, of course it's likely.
Yes, of course it is.
That's been our lives for the last few weeks.
Yes. However, I'm off inside to dull my senses with excessive eating.
Yes.
And a few drinks.
I've got my bottomless stein, so
you're happy.
I'm good. Have you got enough money?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I'm not planning on spending a fortune.
Okay, good, right. Well, I know how you can drink.
Yes, but it's cheap here. my capacity is not that vast. I could not spend an awful lot getting myself incapable. Anyway, I'm off back inside because I think my food and drink will be about ready now.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So Otto, you make your way back inside the Playful Come On, and you sort of go back to the bar, and you do discover that your drinks are ready. I'm assuming Brother Amos is having a drink as well.
He is having a drink.
All right. Okay.
And surveying the room, people watching.
Sure. And as you sort of take a seat at one of the tables, a plate of food, a plate of meat is brought over to both of you, and you sort of start engaging in a bit of light refreshment and merriment, and sort of half an hour goes by as you're sort of eating and chatting, having a drink, and then Brother Amos, you notice. It's very much like in the Fellowship of the Ring, where Sam spots Aragorn hiding in the corner. As you're sort of looking over Otto's shoulder, you see this halfling woman with the bright green hat and the curly brown hair. She's been looking at you all fairly intently, not like staring, but it's obvious to you that she's been glancing in your direction the whole time you've been here. And that is where we're going to end for tonight, folks.
Oh.
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feagle Films production in association with Juicy Fools. Music by hooksounds.com and editing by Stu Jackson. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Discord by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
Sorry it wasn't an action-packed entry for you there, Amy, but I hope that was enjoyable nonetheless.
That was okay. It was nice to ease in a little bit.
Yes.
Gonna jump in when you finished your dinner. Let you eat first.
Before you rob me.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I think it's a really good job that you didn't roll that we had an encounter after the goblins because we probably wouldn't have made it to the inn.
Yes. No, that roll was for something else. Don't you worry.
Oh,
It wasn't an encounter roll.
Right.